M1 tanks. Define tanks. Which M1?
An Abrams M1 tank. America's frontline battle armor tank.
Is the turret separate to the body? Like, is it a separate compartment?
I believe so, and I believe it's pressurized because they can take a nuclear strike and still survive, and the pressure of a nuclear strike would kill the crew if there was actually just openings with filtering.
Yeah, but we're talking about...
It would have to be pressurized.
But it wouldn't always be pressurized.
And when the lid's closed, I'll bet it would be, yeah. It may not be under pressure, but it would be a sealed, pressure impervious seal, I would think. I
will probably go once again with filtered most of the time. Only because circulation and having oxygen tanks on a tank that are like enough to supply would be highly explosive, and that's yes.
Well, oxygen itself is an explosive, but it is an accelerant if you have anything that's flammable, certainly. I would think that maybe they have a short-term supply, so if they're expecting nukes, they can
I can imagine a short-term, but if there's a nukes, there's a bigger problem at play, because the nukes, that's the end of the world at that point.
No, but they're basically built to withstand being in a nuclear fireball and still be able to fight, or near one, if not in one.
Once again,
they're positive airflow and filtered.
Exactly.
So they're not completely.
They're not completely.
I don't have to look it up. My dad was a Abrams tanker for a while.
There you go. So what do they do for high pressure events then?
Well, I mean, so they have the hatches, but I mean, it's not hermetically sealed.
Right. So if there's a nuclear blast and they have, 100 atmosphere pressure for fractions of a second, do they have any kind of stop gates that keep too much flow from coming in for that moment, I wonder? It'd be an interesting problem.
So when I say outflow, I mean that the tank has enough outward pressure on the inside as far as airflow that it pushes out all air out. It doesn't.
It's positively pressurized because they've got they're intaking air to continually push air out from essentially gaps in the tank.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, but I'm just wondering. I've heard that they can withstand a nuclear strike, and so I'm just curious how they do that. How they protect the crew from that instant of high pressure that would work its way through an
tank might survive the strike, but I'm not sure the crew would survive for very long. Once again, we're talking about nuclear strikes.
It's protected against radiation, like airborne, like general area.
Well, so my question is it not true that they can be near a nuclear strike and still survive that and fight? Is that not true? It might be not true. I mean, I'm not saying I know for sure. I mean, that's what I heard, and it was a long time ago, so I could be wrong. I'm trying to find out.
New target acquired.
What's real as they play a make-believe simulator.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
The first thing I look up to answer that question is, it depends on what you mean by nuke and what you mean by survive.
maybe a small tactical nuke or something like that, not a big.
You mean something like the Fat Man?
Yeah.
Or Little Boy, which kind of small nuke by today's standards.
They have grenade launchable tactical nukes, like with you can launch off of a grenade launcher.
They were called Davy Crockett's.
Yeah.
And they were...
That's what those are called?
Basically an RPG mounted on a recoilless rifle on the back of a Jeep. They were just meant purely as area denial weapons for the Cold War.
Acquired.
I mean,
what's an area denial weapon? You destroy it so nobody can go in there?
Pretty much.
Basically, you just irradiate the area so nobody can use it, yeah.
Capture resource points from them to stop the bleeding.
Why is this thing even doing half decent here? I don't understand. This thing is crap.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
This team is just able to utilize this Irby apparently.
Good cap, guys.
How about no?
Affirmative.
Target acquired.
Spotted.
Oh my gosh, somebody wrote an actual paper on this involving all the math and the thermal energy, the kinetic energy involved.
The pressure.
Yeah. So hold on. I'm gonna
Cool.
scroll through this until
Enemy
we
on
get
fighter.
Yeah,
Guys,
I
hit cap
digest it all.
points. If you're in Fox 7, Fox 8, head towards
Sniper, I didn't know you even came in here. Welcome.
Yeah, I popped in for this conversation.
I didn't realize that was your voice. I don't hear your voice enough for to have it memorized yet.
Confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
And then I'm hearing it and I'm thinking, wait a minute. Who's in comms that's talking? Is that?
I just realized I got a guy called Bespoke Cheesecake. Bespoke, you have an awesome name. Okay, so we're gonna need more cap points than just this.
Is ours.
Okay, so it looks like an Abrams can survive. Crew intact from about 3 kilometers away.
That's relatively far, honestly.
That, well, not the type, not for the type of nukes we use today,
Yeah.
right? The nukes we use today are 1,000 times more potent than the ones that were dropped on Hiroshima.
Yeah, like I said, if nukes are dropped, there's a bigger problem than the tank crew. Because that basically is mutually assured destruction at that point and everyone's gonna die.
Right, but you could have a crater that's a mile across easily, and they could be 2 miles away from that and still fight and survive. That's amazing.
Okay. Think about it. If a nuke goes off in your vicinity, I say your vicinity, so like 3 to like 10 k's away, what do you think the first thing that goes through your mind is going to be? Oh shit, I'm glad we survived. Let's continue shooting these people. Or, oh, that's a nuke. Oh shit, I hope my family's okay.
Sure, of course, but I'm just saying if that something like that happens, I'd still would rather be alive to return and maybe
Somebody needs
fight
to head to
and
Sigma.
keep them from doing another one, right?
Affirmative.
It depends who nuked. If it's like, just say, for example, China fired off nukes. Everyone else in the world would go, well, screw it, red button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this paper was
Target
written
acquired.
under the assumption that it was a 15 kiloton TNT equivalent warhead, similar to the Hiroshima bomb. So,
Okay. So a small one.
Almost
Yeah.
target spotted. One final push.
nowadays that's like a backpack nuke.
Yeah. Suitcase nuke. Backpack nuke.
Yeah, same difference.
Target spotted.
Well, it depends on if your suitcase has straps on it or not.
We gathered enough resources. This triumph will provide us huge
In this
technical
case,
benefits.
I mean, same difference.
Understood
That
that
was a
the
good match.
Pasco Sheriff's
this build was
Office
terrible,
did
but that was
things
a
a
good
little
match.
differently, Jones recalled. So what does that mean to do things
Okay.
differently?
How did I
Well,
do
they collect
332?
data on people and then
oh,